officially 2026. Are we excited? Are we thinking it's just another day? Or what? What's the vibe?
What is the 411?
How are we feeling? These people probably should have left these friendships in 2025. The first story we have today is my friend has a secret that could blow up our entire friend group. I feel a little bit guilty for how excited I am for your drama.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. You're the one putting it on the internet. I am just assisting. This story came pretty recently, November 19th, 2025. Okay, so I, 27 female, have to give a bit of background on our friend group to illustrate the gravity of the situation. I'm in a friend group of 8 people, which was essentially founded by these 2 guys, Mark, 28 male, and Jay, 29 male. Mark is single, but Jay has a fiance, Allie, 36 female, that he's getting married to next summer. Nobody else is really relevant. Mark and Jay have been best friends for years. I think they're coming up on like 22 years. They were neighbors, they went to the same schools, and they got into the same college so that they wouldn't have to be separated. They are actually platonic soulmates, to the point of finishing each other's sentences a lot of the time. They are the glue that holds this entire friend group together. When Jay and Allie first got together, Mark was a little weird about it, mostly due to the age gap, but he has come around a lot. They still don't get along perfectly, but he said he's happy for them both and is going to be the best man at their wedding. Last week, Mark got a promotion and Jay was out of town scouting out venues, so he invited me to get trashed with him. Near the end of the night, he was hammered and grabbed my arm and told me he had a secret and that I couldn't tell any of our friends because nobody knows. Oh? He told me he was in love with Jay and had been for years. So it was platonic on one side, is what you're saying. He went into great detail about how attractive he found him, how good he had been to him all his life, and then he got this really freaked out look on his face and said he didn't think he could sit here and smile while the love of his life married someone, quote, who can't even commit his birthday to memory, much less write a speech talking about how good the relationship is. He started getting teary-eyed and said the closer to the wedding they got, the worse he was feeling, and how he really needed someone to be there for him, which I agreed to. I am really bad at keeping secrets. People don't tell me a lot of secrets because I tend to blab. I don't mean to, I just let slip out a lot of the time. It's something I've gotten a lot better at, but still. I cannot tell this one, but it has been sitting on my chest like stones. I didn't even know Mark was queer. I'm a bisexual woman myself, so I know how good people can be at hiding it. And Allie is fine, honestly. Like, she's nice and all, but I wouldn't call her and Jay a perfect match or anything. She doesn't tend to hang out with the group unless Jay is there, and I would call her more of an acquaintance. I feel like all I can do is wait for some sort of blast wave, like I need to get into a bunker. I told Mark I would be there for him, but he was so drunk, I don't even think he remembers telling me. I have no idea what to do here, if anything. That is quite the drunk confession. Have you guys ever had a drunk confession? I mean, I've never really had anything to confess being drunk, to be honest, or something that I was hiding. I feel like my whole life my friends have just known everything, but has this happened to you where maybe you said something because you were drunk and then you were like, probably shouldn't have said that. We have an update to the story, which came 4 days later. I have been texting with Mark and he's been drinking more and making less sense. I had to come over to his place a few nights ago and keep him company. He was completely wasted and sobbing like a baby. He found a therapist and scheduled an appointment, but it is still a ways out. I took the alcohol out of his apartment as per his request and stayed with him as he went to sleep. But while he was drunk, he dropped another bombshell on me. Apparently, a little over a year ago, Jay and Mark hooked up while once again drunk. Usually they don't have alcohol problems and they don't drink that often. They're just both bad drunks and tend to make really stupid decisions when plastered, like texting exes and getting in fistfights usually. Okay, so it was only platonic on the outside looking in because clearly there's some type of attraction between these two. A week later, Jay met Allie and a month after that, they got together. He told me he was already head over heels for Jay at that point and it really took a toll on him. They remained friends and never talked about it again, but it's been eating away at Mark ever since. I feel awful for the poor guy. I did notice about a year ago that the dynamic got really weird for a few months, but I figured it was just due to Allie being thrown into the mix. This is so dang messy. Also, no, I wasn't going to tell anyone with a stake in it. Stop treating me like a gossipy churchgoer desperate to ruin the lives of those around her. None of my friends have Reddit, so I will take the risk that they'll see this. Okay. We got a final update, and it came December 13th, 2025. Almost 3 weeks later. A lot of weird stuff has happened in my friend group. So lately, my girlfriend and I have been helping keep Mark sober. We tried to encourage him to talk to Jay about all of this, but he refused and said it wouldn't do any good. I'm still not sure if Jay knows how Mark feels, but I'm not about to start prodding. Then, last week, something weird happened. Jay sent a text to the group chat and said that he and Allie had ended their engagement and their relationship entirely. It's for Mark, isn't it? It's for Mark. This is a love story. I might be jumping ahead. He said he would say more in a while, but right then he was busy with damage control. Cue 8-ish 20-somethings freaking out. I immediately called Mark and I asked if he had anything to do with any of this, and he said no, which I believed. He seemed just as surprised as we were and was trying not to lose it. I texted Jay and asked if he was all right, and he said he just needed some time to think, but he thanked me for checking in. The next few days were insane, in part due to the big news, but also due to other irrelevant stuff. There was a lot of gossip and curiosity. Allie wouldn't answer any texts, but eventually Jay reached back out and told us. So Allie had chosen her own engagement ring pretty much. The only thing she didn't customize was an inscription on the inside of the ring that Jay got as a surprise. Well, she got in the shower a week or so ago and took off all her jewelry before she got in, and she left it on the bedside table. Jay picked up the engagement ring to admire it. Apparently, it wasn't at all cheap, and noticed the inscription wasn't there and that the brand was a different kind of metal than the one he chose. It also looked much more weathered. She had a second near identical engagement ring from another man. What? After a lot of confrontation, she admitted that Jay was in fact the other man, and she was actually already married and had been for years. What a waste of everyone's time. She planned on leaving him at the altar and just selling the ring, a plan so stupid I cannot believe she even made it this far. Allie isn't exactly known for how smart she is, and obviously Jay cut her off and he got the ring back. Mark has been pretty much by Jay's side ever since the announcement, and to his credit, he genuinely doesn't seem to have an ulterior motive. He wants to be there for Jay through a tough time. At this point, I have no idea what's been running through the man's head. My girlfriend suggested I remove myself a little bit, and I agreed. I don't need to be in the middle of this. Well, seems like we're all in the middle of this. What? I don't understand that plan, to be honest. I don't. All that to be like, I'm just gonna leave him at the altar and then sell the ring. I don't get it. Surely he's not gonna let you keep the ring if you leave him at the altar. I don't know. You know, I really can't act surprised. People are so weird. So weird. Next story. Am I the a-hole for going off on my friend for getting mad at me because I won't hang out with his cheater girlfriend? This story came October 5th, 2025. I was asked by a friend of mine to stop by his place and grab some stuff one day a few months ago since I had a spare key. Nobody was supposed to be there since his girlfriend works at that time, but when I got there, her car and a truck I didn't recognize were in the driveway. Immediately assumed the worst, and I was right. I took a few pictures of the truck and the car in the driveway, then went in to confront her, and she was half naked on the couch with another guy. Snapped a few pics. Oh, is that allowed if she's naked? And left before she could get dressed and chase me down. Immediately, I called my friend and I let him know what I saw. I met up with him and I showed him the pictures. He was heartbroken, but said he had started to suspect things a few weeks prior, so he wasn't too surprised. He confronts her and she gives the usual cheater BS. It was a mistake. It only happened once. I love you. He meant nothing. However, she couldn't keep up the lie and was forced to admit she had had done it with another guy a few months previously, and the same guy I caught her with the night before when she was staying late at work, but was actually at her side piece's house. I can't even keep up, to be honest, with how many people. What do you mean? She did it with another guy a few months previously, and that same guy I caught her with was okay. So she had someone else as well as Couch Guy. And that's not the first time with Couch Guy. He broke up with her and kicked her out of his place. He seemed to be doing better until a couple weeks later he got lonely and he took her back. Now they are together again and I've stopped hanging out when she's around, so I don't see him as much anymore. We had the following exchange when we met up for lunch and I'm wondering if I was too harsh. This isn't word for word, but it's the best that I can pull from my memory. Him, why don't you come over anymore? We barely hang out. You know why. I'm not hanging out with or around your girl. She's a cheater and I don't hang out with cheaters. Also, she hates me because I'm the one that caught her stepping out on you. Remember? Him. She doesn't hate you. I forgave her. It's fine. So just come over tonight and we can hang out. She wants you over there too. Not happening. I hope you're happy with her, but I think she's trash and I'd rather sit in a room by myself than pretend she's not a total piece of shite just so you can act like everything is okay. Him. Why the hell do you care? She didn't cheat on you. Me. Look, if you want to sweep this under the rug and keep pretending things are fine while she figures out how to get some side again without getting caught, that's your choice. But I can never pretend that I didn't walk in on her half naked with another man. And I can't pretend that you aren't an idiot for taking her back when she obviously is going to cheat again and has no respect for you. Hell, I have less respect for you for taking her back. We sat in angry silence for a minute before I left, and since then it's been mostly quiet. I got a text asking if I really think she's a horrible person, and I replied, yes, she's a horrible person. I hate her, and I hope one day you're smart enough to leave her, but until then, I will keep my distance from you as well. And that's been about it. A few of our mutual friends hung out with them recently and said it is super awkward. My friend tries to get them to interact with her, but they also don't like her. They're just too polite to say anything to his face about it. So, getting to the judgment I need, have I been too harsh here? Was I an a-hole for snapping at him like that after everything that happened? Should I have just played nice and just made excuses not to hang out instead? That's so hard. Have you guys ever had that where maybe one of your closest friends took back a cheater? That's hard. It's very hard because you love your friend and you know they deserve better and you want them to have better because you don't want them to get treated like that, of course. However, as an adult, your friends are going to make the decisions they're going to make. They're going to date who they want to date. Oh, and that can be really hard sometimes. I'm sure some people felt that way about me with my exes. Sorry, friends. Hindsight's 2020, you know? We have an update though, so let's see. The update came on Halloween, 26 days later. Things played out exactly how I figured they would, and I'm feeling pretty validated in my disdain for his ex now. After our fight, my friend and I barely spoke to each other outside of a few text messages. Then I got a call from him yesterday letting me know he kicked her out. He told me he had only taken her back after several weeks of her begging and promising to do whatever it took to win back his trust. One of the conditions of him taking her back was full access to her phone, laptop, and game console without complaint. He said at first she was happy to comply, but after a few weeks, he noticed her acting super suspicious when he went to check her phone. She changed the passcode from the one that they had agreed on for him to get in. When confronted, she started screaming at him and telling him she had done enough to prove herself, so he needs to back off. He immediately dumped her and kicked her out. He said she immediately backtracked and tried to hand her phone over when she realized that he was serious, but the damage was already done. He said that he almost was relieved she acted like this because it made his decision easier. I came over and I helped to move all of her stuff into boxes for her to pick up. I wasn't there when she came to get everything, but his sister was there and had to get between them because his ex kept trying to kiss him one last time while awkwardly dragging boxes of her stuff out to the car. Like, so dramatic. I need to kiss you one last time. After your lips were already on someone else. We're not gonna say that. We're on the internet. We're gonna keep this family friendly, but you know what I'm saying. I'm sad I didn't get to be there. Apparently, she ugly cried most of the time. I'm gonna head over to his place after work to drink and play video games to get his mind off things. He's a dummy, but I think he's finally learned his lesson about her. I guess a happy ending in one sense, like for the friendship. Before our next story, you know what time it is. And look at my cutesy little cup. Oh, we love her. I got it for Christmas. Cheers. Drink your water. You know what they say? If you have a cute cup to drink your water out of, you drink more. Could be a myth. Could not. Guys, hot tip. If you have an Urban Planet near you, they have new sweatpants that are ultra baggy. I'm a baggy sweatpants girl, but these ones are new. They're ultra baggy. You're gonna wanna size down. They're like $20. These are size medium. I swear by, this is also from them. Can you see the back? This cute sweater. They're sweaters, hoodies, sweatsuits. I swear by them, and they're very affordable. That's all I got. All right, the next story. Wife is cheating with a longtime friend. This story, whoa, was literally last week, right before Christmas, December 22nd, 2025. I was never a fan of the idea of checking my wife's phone. It felt like an invasion of privacy, even if there was nothing to hide. But after many weeks of odd behavior, avoidance, secrecy, nights coming home late, and supposed outings, I needed to set my mind at ease. The results was the complete opposite. And the worst part, with a friend I have known for the better part of a decade. He stood in my wedding. I knew they got along well, but I never thought things would reach to this point. I didn't see the signs between them, or maybe I ignored them. Nevertheless, I have many of them on hand. The conversations, the dirty talk, the pictures, even videos in our own bed. Oh, how do you watch that? Oh, I feel like that would be like, you would absolutely not want to watch that, but at the same time, you kind of want to watch it because you want to see what happened, to know like what extent it went to. That's a nightmare. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. All because she left her WhatsApp open in her laptop while she went out to buy materials for her DIY projects. If I didn't do anything, then I would still not know anything. She came back not too long ago. She is working on her stuff. I'm locked in the bathroom typing this out, trying my best to not break down completely. Please help me. I have no one to talk to about this with. Well, I mean, yeah, you gotta get out there and talk to her. There was an update 2 days later, which would bring us to Christmas Eve. Oh, what a miserable holiday it was for you. Oh, I would have taken the coal over this. Right after a few comments, I took action. I left the bathroom, and with the best performance I could, I told my wife that I had to go to the hardware store. I wasn't in the headspace to make up anything better, but she didn't question it, so it's all good. I didn't have a destination in mind. I just needed to be somewhere that wasn't anywhere near her. I drove to the nearest McDonald's, and I cried in the parking lot. Oh, we all should just give them a hug. It was a weird cry. At first it felt sad, but then it was just frustration and anger, accompanied by me slamming my head against the steering wheel. I guess I got a lot out of my system because I felt a tiny bit lighter afterwards. I thought about updating everyone and saying I was okay then, but I thought it was a big nothing burger of an update, so I just held off. One of the most prevalent suggestions I saw was to keep my moves a secret and then surprise her with the divorce papers. To me, that sounded about right. So, despite my better judgment, after 2 hours of being miserable in the parking lot, I drove back home. My wife was now lounging in the living room. Once she saw me return empty-handed, she asked if I didn't find what I needed, which I answered by saying I had no luck. She tried to give me a kiss, but I told her that wasn't a good idea right now since I thought I was about to catch a cold. I told her it would be better for both of us to sleep on the sofa to avoid me spreading it to her. Believable, right? I feel like you might be able to get away with that. So what next? First, I'm 100% divorcing her. Cheating has always been a deal breaker for me, and she knows that. Apparently, it was a deal breaker for her too, but I guess not. I already contacted a lawyer as soon as I could. He has given me in a very detailed way what I should do, and I plan to follow his instructions to a T. Well, it probably is a deal breaker if you cheated on her, but Eventually, I know I'll be able to put some distance. I called a buddy, I explained the situation, and he agreed to let me crash at his place as soon as I needed to. I also called my parents and I informed them of what was going on. My mom was very apologetic. Dad was absolutely fuming at my wife. I told the three of them to keep it to themselves for now. I will only tell this information to those that I need to. I will do the damage control with mutual friends later down the line once things are about to truly get ugly. Fortunately, we have no kids, so I don't have to worry about it on that front. I've always wanted to be a dad, but for the first time, I am so glad I'm not one. What about the affair partner? He was a longtime friend of mine, as the title says. Not the kind that we speak to each other daily, but definitely the kind that I thought I could rely on. I mean, he stood in your wedding. You gotta have a pretty significant impact on someone's life to stand in their wedding. I don't plan to even talk to him despite the rage that has built up in me for the past 24 hours, having some choice words for him. He's not married, but he has a girlfriend who he has been dating for maybe about 2 years. She is such a sweet person, and I'm even more pissed that she could do that to her. Don't worry, I will be informing her once I'm in a better position myself. I don't trust her to keep it to herself, and I don't want to jeopardize what's possibly the most crucial move that I've had to make for the past several years. I'm still under the same roof as the cheater. I don't know if it's the right move, but I don't plan to move yet. Not until I'm a bit more ready. I've been able to keep affection to a minimum thanks to my cold, but there's been many things I haven't been able to avoid. I guess, despite cheating on me, she still enjoys playing the role of caring wife. Not that I care, I'm dead set on divorcing her no matter what. Evidence? I don't have much yet compared on how much I think there actually is. When I checked, I managed to send myself screenshots of fragments of conversation, including some dirty talk, sexy photos that never reached my gallery, and worst of all, videos that also didn't reach my gallery, taken on our marital bed. To clarify, I don't mean that they had sex on our bed. I would be even more pissed then. Okay, but still videos of other things. Oh, what I mean is that my wife was apparently very fond of sending him material of herself, to put it mildly. I will work on getting more evidence. There's a group chat I want to look at too, one between her and her friends. I doubt they don't know anything about this. Any and every advice is still appreciated. Even words of encouragement will do. Well, you got this. There is nowhere but up from here because you're so down low. I don't think that was very encouraging. I really meant to be though, okay? The intention was there, but the brain is not. So just know, good intentions. Stay classy out there, you guys. Stay sassy. I'll see you in the comment section. Bye.